rich class doesn't help the country, they say. 46% of Democrats believe that the rich class does not help this country at all. Well, I beg to differ, and I'm sure you will too. I just can't believe 46% of Democrats believe that the rich class doesn't help this country. What do you think? Take it into your own thought. 46% believe. And nearly half of Democrats. This is a study taken by an independent source. This was found on Pierce Morgan Tonight and the O'Reilly Factor. Two completely opposite news and media sources tell us that 46% of Democrats believe that the rich class does not help the country. Well, let me rebuttal that. The rich class in this country provide employment for nearly the entire country. The private sector is the largest source of employment in the world. They create small businesses, paying small business taxes that everyone else has to pay. So now I'm not exactly sure the reasoning for the rich class being the least helpful. Well, as they say, the rich class does not help the country. I'm not sure exactly why. When you create a small business, no matter if you're rich or poor, you still have to pay ungodly amount of taxes, which again, these taxes are created by the left to regulate businesses, making them so they don't grow, so this way they don't get out of hand and create monopoly or giant corporation, because no one likes corporate America. But anyway, employment, small businesses, and the rich also spend lots of money in travel, vacation, and real estate. Again, providing jobs, keeping America at work. Now everyone knows the middle class keeps the economy going for the most part. But tell me, how do you think... Now, I could see how this could say the poor doesn't keep this country going, because to be honest, the only thing they do is suck the money out of this country. You know, it's not their fault. They're trying to get... Some of them are trying to get back to work. But you have to think of the facts here, people. Welfare is one of the largest reasons why our country is in debt. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Now, these are the reasons why this country is not doing the best it could be doing. Not because the rich. Because the rich, the unfair tax claims. The rich is not being taxed high enough. We need to tax more on the rich. The less money the rich have, the less money that goes around, the less businesses there becomes, the less small businesses that create, the less employment opportunities there are out there. It just goes to show you that there... Now, I believe on a fair-based tax system. Everyone gets the same... Rich don't get taxed any higher. The rich don't get taxed any lower. But the issue is when the rich have so much money, but when they create a small business, the business cannot survive without the company going in debt. Now, the company and the person are two different things. If I were to create a company, and this company were to be losing, say I have $1 million company and it's losing, $10,000 every year. Every year dropping, I'm gaining nothing. It's because of the taxes, not on the rich or the poor, or any type of class for that matter. It's because of the taxes on the business which the left creates. You have taxes on anything. You have taxes on how many employers you hire, or how many employees you hire. Taxes on the goods you buy, taxes on the buildings you rent, taxes, everything you do has to deal with taxes. Taxes on the licensing to own your business. These are all things that the left creates. Now, there needs to be some regulation here, but the amount of taxes is the reason why prices are so high in this country. Not because the rich, not because the middle class and the poor, because The taxes say, in order for me to get a pair of shoes delivered from, say, Italy, leather shoes delivered from Italy, that business in Italy is taxed. The shipping to come to the United States is taxed. When that good gets in the country, that good is then taxed. When it's delivered to a company, it is taxed. The fuel it takes to run these trucks is taxed. The fuel it takes to run the boats to get here is taxed. The fuel it takes for all of this to happen is taxed. Now finally, when the shoes get to the businesses, the shoes get in, that business has to create a license. That license is a fee the business must have. When they sell the good, there needs to be a sales tax. In order for them to have in order for the distributor to sell that good to a small business, that is also taxed. All these taxes, and also you have federal regulations. A gallon of milk in the state of New Jersey cannot go under the price of $3 a gallon. It cannot. Walgreens, one of our pharmaceutical companies here, tried to get it $2.50. You know what the federal government did? They stepped in and said, you're not allowed to do that. Why can't the company decide what they want to sell? They want to sell their price of milk for under the average price. But the government steps in and says, you're not allowed to do that. And if you do that, we're going to fine you. That's taking the liberty and the freedom away from the businesses, don't you think? But no, the left says that's regulation, so this way we don't have large monopolies that come up in this country. So this way everything's, everything's fair, so everyone gets a fair chance in life. A fair chance is what you make of it, people. Now, not only that, New Jersey is supposed to be raising its minimum wage. It is $7.25 right now. They want to raise it to $8.50 an hour. Keep in mind, this is not going to help. Sure, you say, oh, well, if you get minimum wage raises, everyone's salary has to raise as well. That's not going to happen. And let's say if it does. That means all these people across the globe, in New Jersey, wherever it may be, all these people selling your goods in New Jersey, we'll just use New Jersey for right now. You want to buy a t-shirt. You go to Walmart. Walmart now has to pay their employers more money, which is fair. But since they have to do that, they have to raise their prices on goods because they can't keep their prices the same as they are. They'll lose money. They have to raise the prices. Inflation goes up. This isn't going to solve anything. And to be honest, it's going to keep people out of New Jersey because they don't want to, when you're transferring from Pennsylvania, whose minimum wages we'll say on average $6 something an hour. They move here, it's now $8 something an hour. Our expenses of living is higher. They can't afford to buy a home. They can't afford to buy products here. When they go down the shore, when they go on vacation, our wonderful Jersey beaches, they can't afford anything. Because the price of goods here is so much higher because we have to pay our people larger amounts of money. Now this isn't for a definite here, folks. This is still in legislation. For the people who live in New Jersey, you can still vote against this. Talk to your local senator or representative and tell them why you think this bill should not get passed. It all leads down to how the left is making this country so hard to survive in. So maybe not survive because they want everyone equal. The left, from what I see, wants to see this country as a communist-based country. They want a dictator who tells you how to live. They want a large government who tells you what you can and cannot do. We need regulations, sure. But we don't need laws telling us how to live our lives, which is basically what they're doing. You make your decision. 46% of Democrats believe the rich class does not help this country. What do you think?